Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about things that no one will tell you when applying and trying to navigate the disability resource system. Besides actually applying for things itself, certain things that you need to know about navigating and what to expect the disability system that many professionals won't really tell you because it's a hard reality that will probably depress many of their patients and clients. We're going to speak about it today so that you guys are best prepared on what to know and what to expect. First is the fact that you will need to be the case manager of your life. And even though you will have people who are case managers for things like the community or your medical support or whatnot, they only focus in that area and that area alone. And if you have a disability, chances are you're connected to multiple different areas of your life in terms of community support and medical support and education support, so on and so forth. And those different avenues of your life, they don't communicate with each other. They only communicate with you, so you have to manage everything. So you have to be the ultimate case manager or the ultimate CEO of your life and of your disability. Another thing you have to know is that you will be made to prove your disability over and over again, even if it's sort of with the same agency. Like, you can submit paperwork that says that you have a disability when getting certain grants or funding for your education, but then when it comes to other aspects of different types of resources still within the education system, they'll ask you to resubmit those information and those medical documents proving that you have a disability time and time again. So you will constantly be asked to prove that you have a disability and to prove that you still have the disability, because many government agencies and not-for-profits think that like a disability sometimes fades within a few months or years, even if it's chronic. And so you will be made to constantly submit medical paperwork proving that information. And going off from the previous thing, one thing you also have to do is reapply for the same programs, because even if you are approved once, some of them will ask you for yearly information about your medical needs, your economic status, all of these different aspects. So you have to set reminders. Like, I have a huge calendar in my phone that sets all the reminders for all the different programs where I have to reapply, give documentation that proves that I still have the condition, or I still have the financial need, or I still have this, or I still have that. So there is continuous applications that you have to do. It's not just a one and done situation. This next thing I cannot stress enough, because I dealt with it when I was just a patient and a client in the disability resource game. But when I became a social worker, I realized when working with clients just how important this is, and that is file your taxes. Even if you make no income, even if you're on government assistance, you have to file your taxes, because I guarantee you every single program that you apply for will ask for a notice of assessment without fail. They always ask for a notice of assessment, and if you don't have one, it doesn't matter like what condition you have, what type of status you are as like a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. None of that matters. If you do not have your notice of assessment, you are automatically denied for everything. So file your taxes no matter what. Another thing you need to be aware of is that rejections are common even if you qualify, because a lot of these programs, again, the applications are so overwhelming and so meticulous that if you have one missing information, or if the information is in one wrong area, or you miss one number off, then the whole application will be rejected. And so even though that's a technicality, and for many people, redoing the whole application will set them back weeks, months, if not years for vital resources, it's something that does happen quite regularly. So know that just because you get rejected doesn't mean you don't qualify. It just means sometimes that there's certain information, things in the application that are missing. Now, what I'm about to say next is probably really controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyways because it's true. Sometimes medical professionals are not helpful. And in terms of like, when it comes to filling out applications and knowing everything with your medical needs, yes, like medical professionals, including doctors and whatnot, they are helpful. But when it comes to things outside of the medical sphere, they are sometimes helpful, sometimes not. So take the information with a grain of salt and like maybe refer to somebody who's a social worker or occupational therapist for things outside of the medical sphere, because their information may be a hit or miss. Like for example, when I was first diagnosed, the doctor who told my mom of my condition just turned to her and said, well, just put her back in a group home and focus on raising your other children. And so, yeah, bedside manners was not his specialty. Sometimes being tactful is not a specialty for certain medical professionals. And so you have to take their advice outside of the medical area as helpful at times, but not necessarily always helpful. Lastly, you need to know that filling out these resources and getting these resources can be emotionally draining. Having to explain yourself, having to explain your story, having to explain your needs, and having to explain why you have the right to exist is mentally draining, and it will affect your mental health bar none. Unless you have a psychopathy, it will affect your mental health and you will feel defeated on a semi-regular basis, but you need to know you're not alone. And in those situations, I would say connect to community support, connect to support groups, heck, connect to people on Facebook or Reddit and just vent your frustrations out there for the world and the internet to see, and get, strangers that you'll never meet to tell you how they're in the exact same position as you are, because everybody's in the exact same position. If you have a disability and you're not rich, if your last name isn't Bezos, then chances are you're struggling to figure everything out, and that is just a part of, unfortunately, the realities of having a disability. So that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm also going to link this video to my one about how to survive a disability no matter where you are in the world, over here on the left. But if you have any other comments or if you found this video helpful, then please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, and I will see you next week.